Our first step is to create a resource group for our project. I'm going to speed ahead, and remember, you can always slow down the video if you'd like. Next, create a new resource in the project's resource group. Find and create with an Azure SQL resource template. Select Single Database under SQL Databases and then click Create. Make sure the project resource group is selected. Enter a valid database name. Click on New to create a new SQL server. Next, enter a valid name for the new SQL server. Here, we are going to choose the same location as our resource group. For authentication, select Use SQL Authentication. Enter a valid username and password, and securely store your credentials. Now, it's very important to configure the database storage, as the default option is kind of expensive. Select the service tier to be basic, and the cost should now only be about $5 per month. Click Apply to save the configuration settings. Make sure you select Locally Redundant for the backup storage, and then click Next to set up networking. We do need to set up a public endpoint for this project, but don't worry, it will be secure. We will configure our firewall to allow Azure services and our own client IP. Let's continue with the defaults and then head to the security setup. For the demo, we do not need to pay for advanced security features, so let's continue with the defaults as shown. We are going to populate our database later, so let's go ahead and continue with the defaults and speed to the review and create. Review all your configuration settings on the screen and be sure to make sure your service tier is basic or what you are comfortable to afford. Then click on Create. After it is done creating, go ahead and navigate to the resource for our next step. Go ahead and navigate to the database resource, and then go ahead and click on the Query Editor in the menu. Enter your SQL Server credentials. Next, open a SQL script in Visual Studio Code, copy, and then paste into the query window in the Azure portal. Click on Run to execute the script. Let's take a look at our newly populated database table. We can see the data structure is now set up and it is populated with a few records of new pets. The image path will soon contain a URL to the pet photo stored in the Azure Blob Storage that we will discuss in the next section. From our web app, we will soon be able to upload a photo for our pet. From our project resource group, let's add and create a new resource. Type storage to find the Microsoft template for a storage account and then click Create. Make sure your project resource group is selected. Let's call our storage account Pet Storage and keep the region the same as our project group. To keep costs low, choose the standard option and set redundancy to only local. I'm going to jump ahead to review and create. You can reference the other settings by pausing the video here. Go ahead to the resource after the deployment is completed. Under the menu item Data Storage, go ahead and click on Containers and then click on Create a Container. Let's give our container the name Image, and don't forget to set the public access level to Container. Go ahead and click on Create. There it is. Currently our images container is empty, but that will soon change as we upload pictures of our pets through the web app. Our next step is to obtain an access key to our storage account for our web app. This is how we obtain and copy our access key. The config.py file is how we connect our web app to Azure. I will quickly review how and where to find these settings in our Azure resources. Let's revisit our SQL Server. The SQL Server name can be found on the overview page. The database name can also be found from the resource. Don't forget to enter your username and password for the SQL Server. This is our storage account name. This is how we obtain our access key to our storage account. Open the web app project in Visual Studio Code and then open a new terminal window. Go ahead and start the Python app to run locally and then open the browser link. The web app shows 3 pet records that are in our SQL database. We have not yet added any photos, so let's do that now. These 3 pet photos are available in the GitHub repo images folder for this demo. Make sure you click the save button to complete the photo upload process for each pet. Let's skip ahead. We have now added and associated our pets to photos using the web app. Let's verify this in Azure. I'm going to navigate to my Azure Storage account, then I will go to my Containers Images folder to see that there are now 3 randomly named photos that were uploaded. I'll download each one to demo that they are the same photos that were uploaded via the web app. Let's skip ahead now to see what's in the Azure SQL database. Each pet record is now linked to the random image name that we stored in our Azure account. I had a lot of fun making this and wish you good luck on your own projects.